All right, we are recreating the Scream today. So to begin this drawing in pencil, I'm going to draw the Scream first, and then going to kind of draw what I see behind him next. So the Scream, I have kind of a messy paper, but it'll work for today. I am going to draw this rounded oval face, and if I look, it is about halfway, right in the middle of this painting. So I'm going to draw a head, which really looks like a circle with the letter U underneath it. Almost looks like a skull shape. And I would just kind of erase where they connect. I am pressing kind of dark today so you can see this in the video. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to draw neat and light, just in case you erase. So this is the collar of the neck. And the hands kind of come up and wrap around. There's some wobbly organic shapes. And then we have the shoulders. And we really don't see a lot of detail in this picture. You might see a little darker line for the arm that comes up. But there's that Scream shape. Vertical lines, which we looked at on the smartboard. Starting kind of in this corner, I see 3 vertical lines. And I kind of stop when they touch my Scream. And they are close together up here. And then they kind of come wider. Maybe not as close as I just drew that one. But you can see they're spread out here. And then they get narrower, almost like a triangle. There are some vertical lines for this railing that is separating the boardwalk and the water. Way off in the distance, I see 2 people. So I'm going to draw them as shapes. So they have very rectangle heads, and they have long rectangle bodies. And I'm making sure that their feet are on the boardwalk, and they're not floating. Over here, it's kind of hard to tell, but I think right here is this line, a horizon line, that separates the sky and the water. And it's right about where those people's heads are. So I'm going to add that in there. In that horizon line, on top, I see a swirl, kind of a wavy line. I'm guessing it's probably trees or something in the distance. And then there are 2 boats in here. Kind of hard to tell in this printout, but I know that's what those 2 things are. So I'm going to add those as just little lines. And there is a reflection or something happening in the water where those boats are. And it's a very bumpy shape. And then over here I see some lighter color, so I'm going to draw that in as well. So there is my rough sketch. At this point, I am ready to color. One thing I want you to look at is the colors of the sky are all on one side. They are the warm colors. And in the water, I'm seeing a lot of cool colors. So I'm going to start with the background, the sky. So I'm going to grab some orange and some red, and I'm working on a messy mat, and I'm trying to fill that sky up with colors that match, do this, the background. So in some spots, Edward Munch blended them and smeared them in, so you could get messy and smear them with your finger. In some spots, he just left them so you can see stripes of color. Your goal today, I might put some peach in here even too. Your goal today is try to match the colors as best as you can. Definitely want to get some yellow. Yellow, red, orange, and even peach today would work up in the sky. You might see some lines of different color. So I'm going to continue on the sky and start the water. When I come back, I'll have some color on my paper. All right, so I have added color in the sky and in these lighter spots that I saw in the drawing. But what I want to see is I see some black in this water. So it's not this bright, beautiful blue. So I am going to keep layering. And what I notice is it looks darker where I think those trees are in the background. But I still see some dark down here in the water. So I'm kind of going between using the side of the oil crayon and pushing hard with the tip. I also notice in this water some lighter areas. So I'm going to use some white to get some lighter value. Now I'm noticing dark in here too. It's not this awesome bright sun color. So today is a lot about looking at that picture and looking at what colors you see. As I'm coloring, I'm layering lots of layers. I am also pushing hard trying to get rid of that white, because when I look at the real painting, I don't see white spots. I see just color, a lot of peach and a lot of yellow. So I'm going to keep working. My next step, I'm going to get the bridge or the railing in the boardwalk here. So I'm seeing like brown and peach, maybe some black, maybe some white. All right, third graders, I just keep layering these colors. I can tell you right now in this bridge, I started with peach, really dark, a really light brown, and then some black to kind of show that those boards are making up that walkway. I am going to finish up with the scream face. So you cannot see perfect eyes and nose and mouth. So I'm starting with this peach for the background. My peach is dirty, which kind of like because this peach in this picture is dirty, but it does have some light colors on the side. I'm going to use a black to kind of make that open mouth and just a little bit of an outlining in the face, really light, because this is not super dark, definitely not as dark as the clothes are. So some color in the hands. And if you notice, those hands are not touching the face. There is a little blue space between them. Get some peach on the neck. And now I'm ready to get dark with the black. So if you examine your picture of the scream really closely, you will see that there are some lighter areas in that black. My whole table is shaking because I'm pressing so hard. So once I have this really dark, I think I'm going to add a little bit of blue on the clothing to kind of see where the arms are. My last touch will be these people in the back. Looking closely, there is a space between them, and then there's pretty dark black as well. That space is kind of a peachy color, so I'm going to get that in there, and then I'm going to get those people. So definitely want to work on the messy mat today. You're going to spend a lot of time trying to match up those colors. So as best as you can, you're going to fill this paper up. As you're working, your name tag will get put on your project, and we will put them on Miss Cleary's table when you are finished.